Welcome back to the Zero Camber podcast, where we talk about car culture and our favorite stuff. And it's not for you, it's for me and Woop here. This isn't about you. This is about us.
This is so we can actually save money on our therapy sessions, so we don't have to go.
Yeah, it's couples therapy for me, so my wife doesn't have to hear me talk about cars all the time.
Yeah, it's actually beneficial. There's a lot of benefiting parties from this.
Yeah.
Except for you guys, the viewers. You guys have to suffer. So
yeah, and today what you're going to have to suffer through is our top nostalgic cars. Because apparently that's what you guys like to listen to. We've looked at the analytics. You guys don't like to hear us talk about the industry or anything like that. You just want to hear us talk about the old cars and the hot hatches, which is exactly what I'm prepared to talk about.
You are prepared to talk about that. So I think you should lead us off with your favorite nostalgic hot hatch.
Yes. So it's not the first car that got me into cars, but it's the first car that made me keep paying attention. And it is a combination of two. It's the Mark II Jetta Coupe and the Mark II Golf. And I specify those two because I had two buddies in college. One of whom owns a Mark II Golf GTI, but with a VR6 swap. And it was kind of the rough but fun Mark II Golf, right? It was black wheels, had the red trim, Recaro seats. I don't actually know if it's roadworthy anymore. I don't know if he got it back on the road or not because it's been forever, but this was back in like 2010.
Yeah.
He'd been a Volkswagen guy as long as like forever, right? That's how we got into cars, and he got me into cars with Volkswagens. And then I had another buddy who had I don't remember the paint code. I think it was a Porsche paint code, and it was orange. Mm-hmm. And it was a Mark II Jetta Coupe.
Is that like real bright orange that came on those? Or was this like bespoke, like he painted it that color?
He got it painted that color.
Okay, because I remember there's kind of like a very vibrant like burnt orange that I see on those like commonly. I'm assuming it's a factory color.
So if you go back and watch our short /TikTok /reel, where I talk about selling my LS400, I flash a picture of it when I'm talking about Mark II Golfs.
Yes, that is the color.
Yes, that's the car I'm talking about.
Okay, perfect.
It is a VR6 swapped Mark II Jetta. And so like my buddy who has the black Mark II Golf, his was a little rougher around the... Wow, my voice just cracked. His was a little rougher around the edges. You know, it needed a little bit more work. It needed a little bit more to get going. And then the Mark II Jetta Coupe was like the cleanest Mark II I've ever personally been in. And he let me drive it one time, and it had the gray and black Recaros, right? The Mark II, which Mark II Golf Recaros are still some of my favorite, if not my favorite seats in a car.
If those are the ones I'm thinking of, they are definitely probably one of my more favorite seats, especially like of the era. They're very good.
Oh my God, they're so good. And he had the ones with like, if I remember correctly, it was the black bolsters with the gray, like almost like herringbone-esque cloth. Mm-hmm. With the red, I think, GTI inlay, right, in it. All of his dash was uncracked.
So his gauges worked. This is like the bring a trailer example. Like it's
damn near. Yeah,
it's nice. Okay.
I think since his wife has been the one that drives it, and it's painted now like a purple metallic. So it looks pretty cool. But like for me, it was always the red, the orange.
Yeah.
And he had the front plate that said "Barfin' Pukin'," like the Euro style plate on the front. And I mean, he was a feature in the VW scene up in Michigan. So like that car, you may have actually seen it at some point.
Probably.
But yeah, man, like those two, like I rode in the GTI. I got to drive the Jetta. And it's like that was the car that made me fall in love. Those were the cars that made me fall in love with Mark IIs, which is like ultimately where I kind of stayed.
Yeah, that was like what dragged you in, right?
Yeah, like it's what I always wanted. I still want one. I'm finally going to do it. It's actually, so I did own a Mark II. I do want to say I did own a Mark II Golf at some point. It was a Mark II Golf 4-door that I bought as a shell with most of the parts inside
that's usually
the car.
About how that goes.
With a 2-liter ABA swap that we did get running and we did get on the road.
You drove it.
I drove
somewhere.
there were some. Ultimately, I was defeated by that car because finding parts, and this is like circa 2016, finding parts for the interiors of those cars takes a very deep, mystical level of knowledge. Some of the things I could mention is finding sunroofs, like complete actual sunroofs with the hardware, is so hard. It's near impossible. And of course, if you cap those and you don't do it right, it'll blow the roof.
Yeah.
And they didn't sell, like, this is in the days before everybody was doing like 3D
repop
prints
stuff
and fiberglass and stuff. So like getting inserts made was expensive. It was going to be.
I mean, this does just reinforce the idea that we've had that before that we talked about doing like 3D printed like interior,
Yes.
and interior stuff. So
I would have
we still got
capped
to
the
work on
sunroof
that.
if I could have found one. I know, but it was like getting a fiberglass one made. I think I knew somebody who was going to make them, but they were selling them for like $1,500.
Well, and also you said this is 2016, so I'm also assuming like this is like college era. Like it's not like
I had just graduated.
you're not making a ton of money. Like you're like,
I was making like 65, but my rent was like $1,100, and I owed money back to like my parents and stuff. So I didn't have a ton
I mean,
of
like
money.
normal, like I graduated, like
Yeah.
I'm dealing with life, like
Plus, I had a live-in girlfriend who in the future would become my ex-wife. You know, and so she had things, and like we lived together, and she only made like 15 grand a year. So like really, I made 65, and she made, but like really, we made
you're
like
supporting
40
two people,
a person. Yeah. So I just didn't, and she didn't like get that I liked cars very much. So she wasn't super enthusiastic. I was like, yeah, I gotta buy $500 like AC box, and she's like, you have to buy a what?
Babe, we're eating ramen this month. I have to spend $1,000 on this part that I promise this is important. Like,
Well, and I'm buying Miller High Life, not Two Hearted wasn't a convincing argument for how I'm being frugal.
yeah, exactly.
Dude, I'm still coughing, by the way. Like, I'm still
I
sort
can't
of
believe
sick.
this is like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe
No,
longer.
so we are 90% sure that we had COVID.
I mean, honestly, that checks out. I
took a flu test and it said flu, right? But flu and COVID tests can trigger each other. It's a common thing.
Well, I think I
and
just
we
saw
were-
something too the other day that was like saying like 30 something states have like a massive spike in COVID cases. So like,
Yep, and they called it like razor throat, which is what it was, like super sore throat. And then like honestly, the lingering and like the effect on my sinuses and stuff, that is, you know, par for the course. Like every time I've got COVID, it's like my third time getting COVID. Every time I get it, like it knocks my ass.
well, and you even said, I remember like in your text messages, like when you first got it, you're like, dude, like, I don't know, like this kind of feels like almost as shitty as like the first time I got COVID. And then like, and then like a week later, you're like, I'm dying. Like,
Yep, and then it was like a week later, it's like I'm feeling a little better, and then it was 2 days later, I was like, I'm sick again.
yeah.
And my son and my daughter are sick again. They just got worse in the last day. So we're just in that season. I think it's fall, right? And like seasons are changing, and
Well, I don't know what like the weather's been like down there for you, but like, I mean, we went from like 3 weeks ago, it was like 80 degrees every day
no, it
to
tanked.
like 65. Like it is I think
the pollen counts are through the roof too.
Oh, yeah, like I've been having the window open the last few nights and like above my bed, and it's like last night I woke up, I swear to God, it was like 40 something. Like it was cold.
Yeah. No, it's getting super cold at night. And then with the pollen counts high, right, that's like irritating my sinuses, irritating my son's sinuses.
Yeah, it's
abysmal. So I'm still coughing. It's been like almost a month and a half, and I'm still coughing. I think I got sick late July, and I'm still recovering. But anyway, yeah. So that's my baby. My go-to is the Mark II Golf in Jetta, because I was defeated, and I'm gonna do it again.
We'll get you through it this time.
Somehow.
Now, you know what? This kind of almost makes me want to change what I was thinking about doing before, just off the fact that my number one nostalgic pick here is actually also Tiny Little Hatch, except it is from the opposite community, the Honda community.
The Honda community, yes.
So, for me, Growing up, like I said, I think I told you before, and like I think I've mentioned before that like my dad had like a big thing for Hondas. So he had a shop tuning and building Hondas, setting stuff up. As I was when I was real young. And the car I remember the most. I mean, he had quite a few, but the car I remember the most was this little red EG hatch. That was like an all motor D series build. That was just super fun. Like
I love those. That's like the one Honda I like is the EG.
Yeah, like I just remember like, dude, something about like that car, being a kid and like getting picked up from school in it a couple of like times.
That would have been
like,
cool.
I remember like very specifically like when I was really young, I had like a memory of like sitting in the passenger seat, like I'm all harnessed up, and like he hit some train tracks and like the suspension was so stiff we like caught air, and I just like remember geeking, like because like I just thought it was the coolest thing ever, and like I was just always like that in that car is like kind of always been like in the back of my mind. Like I'll always have a soft spot for EG hatches. Like I just the way like the back glass and like the little hatch separates. I love that. Like he had like the CD changer, and like I remember like thumbing through like the big, huge, you know, binder of CDs, and like just
maybe 50% of them legitimate.
Oh yeah, I don't even think all of them were, and it was all like just absolutely random. Like half of it was like, it's probably the reason I listen to like so much like just like weirdo like techno like stuff like now, just because like that's like half of what it was. So like
Honda owner listening to techno is pretty on brand.
Yeah. Oh, especially for like we're talking like early to mid 2000s here. Like yeah, it's 2005. Yeah, you're like that was the thing. Like it was all like Honda, goofy music, import tuner magazines, like that D Sport, like that was I remember very strongly.
Woop EG era comeback?
Maybe. So like I haven't owned an EG, but I have had a couple other like EF hatches, and like Integras and stuff like that. And but like I've had my like mind on like an EG for a long time, and every time I look, they're so expensive now.
They are.
Like
it's like a Mark II, honestly. Like
people are asking like a clean shell is a $4,000 or $5,000.
Like that's about the same. I mean, you've seen some of the ones I've sent you for the Mark IIs. Like it's like $4 or $5 grand for something that's like running and driving, but probably needs a little bit of rust repair.
Every EG I've seen that's like running and driving and like body's not good.
Yeah,
you're like 5 to 6, and like if it's a running and driving, like I swapped a B16 into it.
Then you're 10, 15.
It's an $8,000 car. It's missing a fender, and like the rear quarters are gone. And I'm like, bro, like be so for real right now.
That's
like,
also really like the Honda rot era too, where the bodies didn't hold up.
Yeah, no, like EGs, EKs, EFs, like they definitely just like absolutely fall apart. But I'm kind of almost considering I might try and find like an EG hatch and I might just get a bad one and try and save it. Cause
I get it. There's a temptation I have the same with the Mark IIs.
It is one of those cars for me that like it does kind of have like a special place, and I'm like I just like that car so much, and like I think they look so good. Like they're like the perfect level of round, like everything about it. I really need one. Like just I don't even need it to be crazy. Like normally I'm like, you know me. Normally I'm like, we gotta go all in. Like you'd think I'd be like, that's gotta be K-swap to make 1,000 horsepower. Like he's gotta do all this
you're
stuff.
Looking at this, you're probably like, I could let this be a chill car. Little power, little tuning, but like let's just make it clean and fun.
Yeah, like I honestly I want one. I just want to clean it up, body work, clean it up, paint it championship white, slap some Regas on it. Dude, like decent suspension, and then actually I'd probably do Spoon SW388s. But
you've thought about this.
And then I would just drop like a B16 with ITBs in it, and I want it to just be a nice like cruiser. Like that
little,
is like
little
like,
hint
just,
into the next episode where he talks about how he'd want to set up some cars.
Yes, yeah, there we go. But yeah, like that is just a real simple setup. That would be like peak. That would be ideal. That's what I want.
6th gen is right after that, right? Yeah.
The EK, yeah.
I have not seen an EK hatch. Like now I'm curious. And there's a reason, right? So
the EK hatch is like, if you remember like what a Civic
I
Type
kind of
R,
like the EK hatch. Yeah, actually. That looks good.
The EK is like the one. Like everybody that's like Honda hatchback, like the EK is the hatch. Like,
yeah.
But the EG is just like kind of silly, and like it's a little different.
It looks more retro, which I like.
Yeah, and like I think the EG kind of perfectly encapsulates the shift from the 80s to the 90s to me. Because like the 80s was very square, and like you had like stuff like AW11s, you had stuff like you know, the EFX,
that's
the
kind of
CRX, the NSX, like, and like the EG just like was just a little. They were like, let's just like contour it. Just
it's kind of. It's like a transition. How do I say this? So like a Mark II to a Mark III Golf, right? That's a huge departure.
Yeah.
In terms, right? Because Mark II is solid 80s Euro. Mark III is 90s Euro, right?
Yeah.
Like the Mark III has got some. It's way rounder, and then the Mark II is just like pure squares.
Yeah.
But there's somewhere in that 80 to 90s transition where we lost chrome trims and like the window trims and accents and stuff that really make those look good. And
it's like 88 to 92.
Yeah, it's like right in there. So that's like Mark II has it, Mark III doesn't. You kind of with the EG end up with a little bit more of like the Mark III roundness, but you still get those 80s like chrome window accents and some of that stuff that still feels more 80s, which is super cool. Okay, I see it. Because I don't know my Civics very well, right? I'm not a Honda guy, so I was kind of looking. I was looking through like this different gens. So right, 5th to 6th to 7th gen. So 7th gen being EP3, EP era, which is where like I would say it's like a Mark IV kind of equivalent.
Yeah, because EP3 should be like, I think like 99 or 2000, or actually I think it might be like a little bit later, like 01, 2002.
Wikipedia says 2001, 2005.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 01.
Yeah, model years. So like 2000 to 2004 ish. Yeah. So that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. I see it.
No,
I'll talk a little bit about the Mark III, Mark II thing in the next episode. Because I've had some temptation. So
yeah, we will.
I'll talk about.
We'll
my
elaborate more on some of our plans. I think next episode. Yeah. I think it fits better there.
All right, so my second car is the car that got me into cars. Well, the car that got me into cars, it was my first experience with an actually, like, what I would consider kind of a cool car, a sporty car, and that was a Mustang Fox Body SVO. So, right, not, my first experience in a Fox Body was not, like, Fox Body 5.0 or LX, right, with the V8, no, crappy little Turbo 4. Right? But it was my first exposure to a sort of fast car was a turbo.
Yeah.
And I have pretty much, with rare exception, preferred turbo cars basically in everything I've ever driven. And I have to wonder at times if my obsession with turbo cars goes all the way back to the fact that I was kind of introduced to fun cars through a little Turbo 4 Mustang, which could explain my derangement on EcoBoost Mustangs as well.
Honestly, it very well could. That could be like you got like a little bit of like a nostalgia for the SVO there. And like I have driven an SVO. Actually, I've driven a pretty decent example of an SVO, and I did think it was very fun. It's very 80s turbo. Like, oh my god, like it's like so laggy. It's kind of awful. Like if you've driven like a nice like turbo car, like a modern like performance turbo car, and then you drive something like that, you're like, this is the worst thing I've ever experienced.
No, it's so slow. through all the spool up, but then the boost hits and the noise and the fucking way it hits, and you're like, oh, this is fun. And then it stops, and then you shift, and then it starts over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's absolute, like, you're like,
unless you're like skipping,
and then giggle
unless
machine.
you're like skipping gears, you're like, unless you're like literally like having to row everything, like you're not actually going to be able to stay in boost. Like, if you don't quite pull off a red line shift from like second to third, it just goes down too much, and now you're out of boost again.
And it's like that right there is the 80s turbo car experience is a very prime reason why like you have like the boomers, like no replacement for displacement guys, because like they're like, you didn't have that like in a V8. Like if you drove a 5.0, like like there wasn't like any like like so
Which, like, I mean, like I can understand why, like, you know, inline sixes and like old naturally aspirated BMWs from like the E36 on like were the thing.
Yeah,
because
because
in that era
flat.
A good turbo wasn't
really a
like,
thing.
I've never driven an E30 M3, right? But I mean, I've known some people who had, and they said it was fun, but like at the end of the day, it's still an old turbo. Like, and it's a well-engineered old turbo, but it's still an old turbo car. So like that was a motorsport car. That was a car that was meant to be like drive the piss out of it on the track kind of car, which means it's meant to be kept in the revs all the time.
Yep.
And that's just not how dailies, like not how street driving
the car that you drive every day is like not going to be enjoyable. Yeah. Like,
I'm spoiled with my turbos because I have a great little turbo.
I think like, honestly, I think like a big pivot point for turbo cars, and like this might be controversial to some people, but I think
it's going to be Ford.
2002, when the WRX hit the States.
Okay.
That was the pivotal moment for turbo cars in the States, because the WRX came here, and like that changed. Because think about, like, you had an EP3 on sale, but like you didn't, like, you just lost the Integra. You you came out of the hatches. You had the Mark IV, right, was rolling around at the time, but like a 180 is like, you know, in stock form, it wasn't exactly like it's not pulling as hard as the WRX was at the time.
180 is a great little motor that was wasted on something as heavy as the Mark IV.
Yeah. So you've got that, like when a WRX hit, especially like in 04, like when the STI dropped, like in 2004, this was a 300 horsepower, all-wheel drive, 3,000-pound sedan. Yep. Like
in an era when like Mustangs were making like 200 and something horsepower.
Yeah, like I think a 2-valve Mustang at the time was making like,
it was like 208.
I think it was more than that, but like, because like technically, right, I think crank horsepower on like a Fox body, like a 90 to 93 is 225. So like,
it didn't go up by much though with new age.
But like to put that into perspective, right? I'm pretty sure like the quoted number on a Terminator, which also came out in 2004, or like around that time, 2003, 2004, was 390. And like the Terminator was fast.
The Terminator was kind of insane. Like
but like an STI is not that far behind. Like numbers wise, and like you have 2 more wheel spinning. It doesn't weigh that much more. Like actually, I don't know what a Terminator weighs offhand, but honestly, it's probably about the same weight.
Okay, let's give another piece, because I think this might resonate more with people. A Gen 1 Viper made 400 horse. Yeah. And that is considered like a deadly, like 92 to 95, I think. Yeah. So that's like a deadly fast car. V10 made 400 horsepower. Well, Turbo 4 all-wheel drive Subaru made 300 horse. And
Subaru was like, hey, you could buy one of these for like $26,000.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure an Integra Type R was like $24,000 MSRP, like in 97, 98. Yeah. So like,
which really just makes the current state of the WRX pricing and power like really depressing.
It kind of does. I mean, also like if you do convert the numbers, like an STI is like real, or a WRX like isn't that much more expensive. But the problem is like it doesn't do anything more. Like it's been doing the same thing for 20 years. So like that is like what's not impressive about it.
Yeah.
But I do think that like that
starting price $37,750. What the
for the new WRX?
Yes.
Yeah, it's too much.
I have to stop cussing on here, by the way, because I swear to God that makes clipping this harder.
Did you see the MSRP on a WRX TS, which is like basically an STI, but
I'm going.
It's an STI with everything but the badge.
Limited 42,130, GT 47,705, TS 47,705. Well, that was anticlimactic. Apparently, a GT and a TS are the same.
The GT just has like the CVT, whereas like the TS you get the manual.
Well, by the same, I meant same price.
Yeah.
I was expecting the number to go up. That was anticlimactic.
Yeah, but like 47 grand for a car that makes
50 grand for
for a 280 horsepower car that's practically identical as all the ones prior to it, outside of
moonroof delete.
like it does eat me up a little bit. But in 2004, the STI was big dickin'. Like that was a car. So like, but
let's transition this a smidge into the GC8 Subaru.
Yes, which is like
your nostalgia car.
Yeah, like that's honestly the car that is the reason why I became a big Subaru head. Like I just remember like playing through like Gran Turismo as a kid, and like the Subaru rally car, and like seeing like the everybody knows like the 555 like rally car, like that is like iconic. That's probably, I would be willing to wager that's like up there in like top 5 like iconic like rally car, like, or like
I would say
cars.
So. Yeah.
Like if you were like picture a motorsports car, like a car from motorsports, like that's probably going to do it for a lot of people.
I think, I'll be honest, the average person would probably imagine a NASCAR, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, the average American, but yeah, like I think,
okay, fine, the average European, they aren't people.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's probably some random dude right now in like Denmark who's like, no, I'd only think about number 24, the Dale Earnhardt car. Like, there's like the biggest Dale Earnhardt dude in Denmark right now.
I bet you anything that the biggest Dale Earnhardt fan in the world does not live in the U.S.
Yeah, probably.
If anything has proven to be true, it is that the Japanese are better American enthusiasts than we are.
Yeah, like there's some Japanese dudes' autistic hyperfixation is the Dale Earnhardt car.
Is his name like Daigo Kaito or something like that?
The drifter?
No, Johnny Daigo. That's what he goes by on Instagram, and he is a rockabilly. He does the Elvis dance thing. Like, have you seen these people?
No, I haven't seen that one, but I have seen the dude who's like this Japanese dude who's like extremely into like old westerns, and like he's like dressed as like a cowboy and all that.
No, so there's like a whole community, like rockabilly community in Japan, like where they're into like Elvis music, and they dress up as greasers, they do the pompadours, like they wear like all the leather and the and like the freaking boots with the pointy toes, and they do the like the rock dances from the 50s, and like they'll take over parks in Tokyo and do it. And
no shit. Yeah. I think that's kind of where like some tropes like honestly come from, like in anime, is like probably from that group, because like they always like kind of make like those accentuated characters like with the pompadours and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if that is kind of like where that ties to. It's got to be like there's got to be some kind of relationship there for sure.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Kuwabara.
Yeah, literally, yeah, that's exactly. So, but yeah, no, like the GCA. It's just like, it's iconic. Like it's honestly, it's probably like one of the best shapes. Like a version 6 STI or like a 22B is like just peak car, man. Like it's so good. It's
really, really pretty. Like and
it's such a good car proportionately. Like
question: Who makes the best blue?
Who makes the best blue?
Is it Subaru? Do they have the best blue?
I don't know if they have the best blue, but I do think that like World Rally blue, like their blue,
yes,
is probably the most iconic blue.
I think so. I like if you take a car and you paint it blue and you give it gold rims, like you think Subaru.
Yeah, you're thinking Subaru. Like,
yeah,
I think honestly, to be honest, like even if you're just like blue car, like my head's probably gonna go straight to Subaru. Like I think like, anybody who's like an enthusiast is probably gonna like immediately.
The only two other blues that come to mind is the Ford Grabber blue.
Ford Grabber blue is another good
really
one.
Good.
Yes.
Or the BMW, whatever they call it, blue. I can't remember the name.
Probably like which like the real deep blue.
No, it's the lighter one that's used on the newer M's.
Oh, Laguna Seca blue.
Yeah, I was thinking Laguna Seca, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, that's Laguna Seca, I'm pretty sure.
It's a really good color. I mean, I don't particularly like it on the cars they put it on. I would love to see it on something older, but
yeah. I don't think that. I think that like first started like E46. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see that on like.
Oh yeah, like an E30.
E30.
Like, yeah.
E29. Like that's.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
I might update.
I don't know though. I kind of feel like that. Like I kind of feel like a blue like that soft might not work with like the body lines.
Have you? So go look for like a powder blue. Like Mark II Golf, because I've seen a couple photos of them. They are fucking pretty.
Yeah, okay, I can see it on the Mark II Golf because like the Mark II Golf, even though it's pretty square, is still like rotund in a way. Where like
okay.
The E30 is like kind of sharp. Like
what about an E30
jagged.
wagon?
Maybe that'll work better. I'd have to see it. I'd have to just see it, but I feel like the E30 is like very square. Like I don't think like it would work as well.
It is. I keep derailing you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was actually kind of trying to think of like other blues because like I don't know. Maybe
those are like the three I can think of.
Like I mean, I'm a huge fan of Calvary blue, from Toyota.
Yeah.
But
that is a good color.
You know, like that's.
Doesn't Hyundai have a nice? Doesn't Hyundai have
that blue that they use like on the Ioniq, or like on the N cars,
on the Elantra N and the Veloster. Actually, on the Veloster N, it's really good, but I think it's only good when you pair it with the red and black that come with the M's.
Yeah, it's like perfectly fine if you like leave it alone. Like if you like get that color and leave it alone and do no other accent changes to it, like then it's like fine. But yeah, anything else that's like all right now it looks like a kid's just playing around.
I would agree.
Colors.
I would agree. So I'll get my last car out of the way. This one's going to come out of left field maybe a little bit, but there is a story behind it. And I realize all three of these cars are from high school to college, right?
Yeah.
So this would be actually the third car in the line of cars that got me interested in cars. And you would think, considering I had a buddy in college who had an S2000, it would be on the list, but it's not. It's an XJ Cherokee. And so a buddy of mine, I had basically two, three car friends when I was in school. And one of them owned an XJ Cherokee coupe, which, first of all, is already kind of cool.
That is kind of cool because you don't really see those.
And he liked the thing. Actually, okay. I think at some point they transitioned. I don't remember. So I'll say she owned that thing, and for the capstone project that they did in school, they went and did a turbo on the 4-liter i6.
Really? That's kind of interesting because I actually don't think I've seen anybody do that.
No, that's why they did it. It was a it was a turbo i6 XJ auto. Like they fully fabricated the turbo kit, put everything together.
I'd imagine because I don't know anybody that makes anything for it.
Kits, so. Yeah. It was on 35s, I think. This is like a turbo XJ on 35s. It was the loudest. Like we took a drive before, when it was just downpipe.
Oh God!
So no full exhaust, no doors.
I'm sure that thing sounds just absolutely wretched as an open header.
It was so good. It was so fun. Because like it kicked in, the turbo kicked in, and it's just, like monster trucking.
Yeah.
Like loud enough to almost get pulled over in Flint, Michigan. And just had a ton of fun with that thing. Like at some point, couldn't get it into reverse because the heat from the new exhaust had melted the shift cable. Like shortened the shift cable.
Yeah, because all the stuff that you don't know is going to be a problem because like this hasn't been done before. So like, you just get to like experiment by creating new problems.
Had shortened the plastic so that it wouldn't shift into park anymore.
That's awesome.
So they'd have to like put it in neutral, turn the car off, chalk it real fast on pull the e-brake, chalk it real fast, and then go under the car and pull until they could fix the. And that was my first exposure to like pure skunkworks jank, right? Because like the Mark IIs that I'd been in, like one was attempted, like it just wasn't enough money, right, to make it perfect, and then another one that like really had like all the attention to detail, and then I had this SVO that was kind of a piece of junk, but it was just like a project car. And then this was like a car that was absolutely not perfect, but just done because, yes, let's just do this stupid thing. And it's like the perfect encapsulation of all the different types of my favorite car builds.
Yeah, like it's got a little bit of everything. Like,
yeah. And I realized when I was writing this list, when we came up with this idea and I was writing this list, I was like, this is really like what shaped me as like what kind of builds and cars are interesting to me. Now, I haven't owned a lot of built cars or building cars, right? I've mostly owned newer stuff. Because I first of all didn't have a wife that was particularly into cars for the longest time, and so she didn't really want me to spend money on it. And now I have kids, so of course I'm not spending a ton of money on it.
Yeah.
And I've just kind of been like, all right, well, if I can combine the daily and the fun, cool.
Which I will say, as somebody who has poured tens of thousands of dollars into builds in the past, and sold off cars and done whatever, and just like been a part of a bunch of other projects and whatnot. That is honestly probably the more ideal way to enjoy cars. And I might be saying that just because like I've like seen the other end and been burnt the other way.
Yeah.
Whereas you're like, I want to build something. I want to be like a part of the process for that. And like I know but like suffering through the misery's got to be like part of the fun of that, right? And like on the other hand, I'm just like, no, it's all misery.
I'm in a position. God damn it. It's like, that when you get it like just there and you can't quite clear it. I've always been in a position in my life where I've really only been able to have two cars. One for me and one for my significant other.
Yeah.
Not really been in a position where I can have the third car, the thing that I can screw around with.
Yeah.
And so my one attempt at the third car was the Mark II Golf I had. But I didn't have the resources, I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the patience to make it work. Also, I started with a shell, which is a stupid-ass idea. Don't start with a shell, start with a running car.
Especially now, like, as your first, like, project car, that was a brave choice.
Yeah, I was like my second project car, but I didn't really do much with the first project car. So, like, it was my first, like, real,
like your first, like, attempt at, like, a build, like, where you're like, I'm gonna get into this, like.
Yes. Which, I mean, like, let's be honest, right? I got the powertrain and stuff working. It was like, it's the little resto bits that are hard.
Yep.
But right, like, that's kind of where my position's been. And now I'm in a spot now where I've got two cars I really enjoy. And it's like, I've got the third car, the LS400, that I'm like, not really what I want. Let's go a different way with this, probably. Sell that, get Mark II, probably. And go forward with that. But now I can actually do it, because that's the optimal way to do it, is you have a car that you can drive on a daily basis that's reliable.
Yep.
And then you have, if you have a significant other or whatever, you have the other car, their car, that's reliable.
Yeah.
And then you get something that can blow up. And if it goes to shit and you have a problem, like, who cares?
Yeah,
that's how you should do it.
That is the way that you should do it. That is not how I've lived my life. So, see as I, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, I have had a lot of heartache over the years, just fumbling around through whatever, borrowing somebody's car because I've got multiple that are blown apart, or like, I mean, I've like I've blown up a head gasket at 9 p.m. at night and done a head gasket to make it to work at 6 in the morning.
And that's something I will never do, right? Because I'm not. I remember, like, I had to do the brakes. Like, the first time I ever did brakes was on my Forester, and I had to call work from home or call a day off so I could do my like calipers and everything, right? Not like pads and rotors, but because I'd never done it. And I live an hour away from work, and I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, you're like, yeah,
I'm not risking not being able to make it to the office and having to call off because my car is busted. But I also worked as an engineer, right? And so it's like, I kind of have to be in the office. Like, it's kind of expected that I have a working fucking car.
Yeah.
We pay you enough kind of thing.
Yeah, they're like, your car's that broken that you can't drive it in? Like,
yeah, right.
Can't get a rental for the day? Like,
I'm sure, like, working mechanic shops and stuff, right? Like, everybody's got broken cars.
Oh, dude, I have seen some absolute pieces driven by, like, other techs or, like, the guys that, like, have worked for me or, like, with me in places. Like, I've seen some stuff that, like, I've had some stuff. And, like, I've seen people come with, I'm like, that was, you made it here? Like, I'm impressed. Like, so, yeah, like, some people are definitely, like, this is a little side note derailment, but I find it so humorous when I, like, scroll through, like, Facebook Marketplace or, like, use Craigslist or, like, even if you just, like, see, like, a post on Facebook and, like, somebody's like, oh, I'm looking for a car, something that's, like, well taken care of, mechanic owned, and I'm just like, you do not want that car here. Owned. Like, I promise you, that car is abysmal. Like, that is the
I've known
least
enough
cared car for
to know they don't maintain their stuff very well. Most of them.
No, I will drive something like till the absolute limit. Like, I am like, yeah, no, I probably won't shit the transmission if I do one more drive. Like, I'll be all right. Like, I can make it 10 more miles and throw some fluid in it, and then I'll throw fluid in it to get home. Like, I've done that. Like, I've had pieces of shit that I was like, dude, this thing's gonna make it, whether it wants to or not.
Like, I mean, that was me with my Mark III when the transmission fell apart on I-75 south of Detroit. The transmission shift linkage, sorry, I should say. And I had to manually open the hood and put it into third gear by hand, and then just drive it home in third gear all the way from south of Detroit up to Auburn Hills.
Dude, I had, like, I think I might even told this story before, but I had, like, the F-350, the rear caliper, like, shortly after I got it, the rear caliper on the passenger side, the piston exploded.
Oh my god!
Don't know why. Just
how
decided to explode. I don't know. I was having a bad day and wanted out of there. So I lost all brakes and crew cab, big ass F-350 with a 7.3 diesel in it, and I just left work. I was like maybe 10 minutes down Telegraph. I was like coming up through Taylor, but I had to get up to Southfield. So like we're talking like this is like another 15-20 miles like I needed to go. Yeah. And I lost the brakes like somewhere around there, and like the parking brake was already gone, like it doesn't work, and because it's a clapper ass 7.3 diesel. So like you don't stop an 8,000 pound truck without brakes.
No.
So like I just put the hazards on. I was laying on the horn through every intersection. I'm like, I already left work. I'm not turning around. Like, there's no brakes to turn around. I'm just I'm like, I can go straight. And all I got to do is go straight and make 2 right turns. I'm going to do it. And I piloted that missile 20 miles with no brakes. So, surprisingly, I didn't kill anybody, didn't kill myself, and, didn't get pulled over. Yeah. Well, not like I could have stopped anyways, but...
Right.
Like...
Pull over to the side of the road.
I'd love to, officer! But, like, that is just... Like,
Yeah.
Nope. I mean, like, granted, when I did have to do that, I was like, okay, well, it's just getting brakes all around. So, like, then it's, like,
yeah.
It got everything. But it was very much like really? Like, well, I was like, I could turn around, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna. I'm like, I'm gonna make it. Like,
yeah.
Like, putting yourself in stupid situations when you have, once you have, like, a level of mechanical know-how, it creates way too much overconfidence. Like, you're like, yeah, oh yeah, this is, it's fine.
For sure.
Fine. Like, the whole thing sounds like it's on fire, and you're just like, nah, the smoke's normal. It does that.
So speaking of cars that I don't want to set on fire, let's get on to your third.
Oh yes, I do have a third nostalgic car. So I do have a deep love for AW11 MR2s.
I can understand this one.
You can or can't?
I can.
Okay. So yeah, like, I just think the AW11 MR2 is so, I mean, it's just so freaking 80s, man.
It is.
That car is like, it's got the vents, it's angular, it's boxy, it's like, it's mid-engine, like, everything about it's weird. Like,
I have a buddy.
AW11's just cool. Like,
they are. I have a buddy in, like, we went to school together. I stood up in his wedding that is huge AW11 fan. Like, and has a really, like was devastated when it got rear-ended and then had to go shopping for a clean shell to swap everything over into so we could have one that, yeah. So, yeah.
I'm sure that's been hard because if there's a car that is subject to some nasty rot, it is also the AW11 MR2. That is,
I think it took him like 8 months to find a good shell.
I don't doubt that at all. In fact, actually, 8 months kind of sounds like that wouldn't be the worst. Because I know, like, finding parts, like, God forbid you need, like, rear glass or something like that. Like, that's impossible. Which is why, like, paint on a lot of them are, like, just so bad because it's like you just, people don't even try to restore them because, like, you just can't get enough.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's just literally not worth it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But, like, there is the cool, like, supercharged version of them. Like,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, like, they're super sick. They have, like, an absolutely fantastic vibe about them. And it is kind of like the feature car of probably one of my favorite mangas of all time, which is Over Rev. I don't know if you've read that, but
I haven't read it, but I've seen enough from it to kind of be familiar.
Yeah, so if you haven't read Over Rev, this is your PSA notice to go and do so. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. And I think I'll probably talk about it more in an episode because we've talked about doing, like, an episode about, like, automotive, like, cars in media. Yeah. And like, I think that'd be a great place to talk more about that. But
it would.
Over Rev is the show or the manga that should get at least a fraction of the attention that Initial D got.
I would agree.
Very underrated, but very, very fantastic.
Yeah. Dude, now I kind of want an AW11. Jesus.
Dude, aren't they so sick? Man, they're so cool. Like, you just look at it and you're like, it's just, like, I feel like you can't get into an AW11 and, like, not smile.
It ticks all the boxes. I'm partial. I think for me, this might be the equivalent for me of, like, the Starion. Like, because that's I love the Starion.
Starions are sick. Like, that could definitely
the same
be, like,
person.
in that tier.
The same person that had the XJ had a Starion TSI.
There you go. Yeah.
And then I remember going over to their house and doing body work on their Cressida.
Speaking of good blues, there's a blue that came on the Starion and the Conquest TSI that is a fantastic color.
I just Googled, like, Starion TSI, and, like, halfway down the page was that blue. So you said, speaking of blues, I'm like, yeah, it's right there. In fact,
actually, shout out Steve if you're watching this. But I will not forget that you do want a perfect that blue Conquest TSI. So if somebody does have one, I know somebody who wants to buy one desperately. So
yeah,
You need to let go.
I honestly, I could forsake the Mark II for a Starion.
Really?
Yeah.
That is neat. Nobody does anything with them. Like, you don't see them.
Parts are hard to find. They're rotted out. Like, it's...
Well, yeah, that is classic 80s, 90s Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
But I rarely ever hear anybody, like, have anything bad to say about the Starion. But they, like, nobody... Like, I've never seen, like, a restored one. Or, you know, like a
properly
trailer
restored
example. Like a super mint one. Like, it's a car that is, like, very clear, like, so many people have, like, fond memories. Like, every time I talk to somebody, he's like, man, like, I had one back in college, or, like, I had one back in high school, or, like my girlfriend had one. Like, it's always, like, a fantastic story. Like, everybody always has love for it. But, like, I haven't seen one that wasn't just, like, in a field somewhere. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'd never see it, like, on the road. I think I've seen one that, like, was at Radwood, like, last year or the year before.
Yeah.
And, like, that was the last time I seen one that was, like, even remotely decent.
Yeah. I also remember when I was in college, the same buddy I'm speaking of tried to convince me to get a 323 GTX. And there was one that was only like $2,000 in Flint, running and driving 323 GTX, and I didn't fucking buy it. And I should have.
Probably should have. Those are also kind of cool.
Those are super cool. And it was caged with seats.
This is kind of neat.
Running, driving 323 GTX caged with seats for $2,000.
That does have the 323's got that's the 1.6 turbo, right?
Yep, that's like the dual overhead cam turbo.
The Protege motor.
All 132 horsepower.
I will say though, it is probably a good thing that you didn't end up with that, because I did have a Mazda Speed Protege for a little while, and that thing was a absolute piece. Literally, like,
I think it would have been too much for me to take on at the time because I just wasn't that skilled.
Yeah, like that car literally fell apart. Like, every time you put a wrench to it to fix one thing, something else would break.
Broke.
Like, yeah. I remember fixing that car like 3 times in one day, and it broke again.
That was my XJ.
Like, it's just like that is one of those cars that, like, I will just, like, it is not worth it. Like,
yeah.
Like, that car had a bunch of weird stories to it. But, like,
it's one of those things that's fun when you go back and talk about it. Like, I got up to a bunch of hijinks when I was in college that sound really fun. But, like, being there, my friend, in the moment when that stuff was going on, you're like, dude, what is wrong? Like, what are you doing with your life? You need help.
Yeah, 100%. Well, like, yeah, the one we had was just, it was, like, so much absurdity. Like, there was, like, a whole weird situation in, like, why and how we ended up buying it. The person we ended up buying it from was kind of interesting, to say the least. I don't even know if it's, like, podcast appropriate for, like, some.
Yeah, let's leave that one.
Some of the content of that one. And then, like, when we got rid of it, it was like, I remember selling it for well beyond what we paid for it, because, like, we bought it for, like, extremely cheap. I think we paid like $500 for it, or like $1,000 for it. And then we sold it for like $3,500. But, like, I remember, like, there was a kid in Indiana, or, like, just outside of, like, Indianapolis or something like that, that wanted it. And so, like, me and 2 buddies, like, piled into a U-Haul, that, like, a trailer, because, like, the guy was like, he wanted it for like $3,500. Like, he was like, I won't even negotiate asking. And then he, like, also was, like, willing to pay extra to have it driven to him. Yeah. So I was like, all right, like, I'm
fine. Down. Get rid of this thing. I want it gone.
Exactly. And I'm like, I'm down to clown. Like, I will always do something. I will do stupid shit, like drive 5 hours. So, like, we packed 3 wide into a, like, U-Haul rental, like, Silverado with the bench seat, like, the absolute worst. It was like -2 2 degrees out. It's freezing.
Jesus.
We load this thing onto a trailer and just take it. We drive it all the way down to Indianapolis, and like we got like a couple of cool pictures, like us like out in front of like Indianapolis Motor Speedway at 4 a.m. because we're like, there's nothing to do. We're just here. We dropped this thing off at like midnight. We thought the guy wasn't even gonna pay because like he had like the agreement was he was gonna leave a deposit for half over PayPal and then pay the delivery, and then he'd pay the rest on delivery.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'll drive it 5 hours. You can give me a couple grand. Like, that's cool. We get there, and he's like, oh, we'll just PayPal you the rest of it. I'm like, nah, I just drove 5 hours. I'm not leaving nothing. I was like, I will refund you and drive back myself, like, or drive back, like, with this. Like, it's not happening. So, like, we had to sit there. We got there at, like, midnight, and we had to, like, sit there until, like, 2:30 a.m. until, like, him and his girlfriend had to go and, like, hit, like, several ATMs to, like, get out enough money. Like, it was because, like, they kept hitting limits. So, like, they were, like, running all over the place. So, like, that was an experience. Like, it was just hilarious. But, like, it's one of those things that, like, just makes for, like, a fantastic story.
Makes for a fun story.
And, like, the car was painted a goofy color. So, like, when I posted it on Marketplace, like, people kept reaching out to me, like, oh, like, so-and-so had that car, and, like, so-and-so's looking for it, like, or, like, so-and-so built this or did this. And, like, it was, like, the first time I sold something that, like, I had, like, dozens of people, like, reaching out to me, like asking me questions, and like the guy that like had it, like he told me his whole story with it. That's and cool. like it like went back. I'm like, okay, I was like, I don't know how this car's had 9 owners and nothing's worked on it, but like it really just had like a whole bunch of lore attached to it, and it was really funny. So
yeah, man. All right, so it's the last thing because we got to move on to the next one, but it's the last thing I'll say. If I ever convince you to go to NOWO next, if I can go next year, and Travis is there, we'll sit down and get the history of the horror.
All right, yeah, that sounds like a plan. Maybe is it podcast appropriate? Could we? Maybe
we'll put them on. Yeah, I think so. So.
I mean, we could always do like a live stream or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. It should be.
All right, cool. So yeah, that sounds like a plan to me.
All right. So we're gonna cut it here because it is 8:20 our time.
Yep.
And we're supposed to record another podcast. So
yeah, we've got another episode to get through.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I'm sure you guys are
bang through that one real fast.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are tired of listening to us talk about our nostalgic cars. So what you should do is go down to the comment section down below and let us know what your guys' favorite nostalgic cars are, because we want to know if you guys agree with us or if you guys have better taste.
Also, subscribe. Yes. Subscribe and give us reviews, people. We have like 50 subscribers on YouTube. Expect more. I expect more out of you.
They're saying if you guys don't subscribe, they're going to take me out back and beat me. So we don't get to 125 subscribers by September 30th, then they're going to beat a whooper to death in the backyard of a random Michigan town. So
all right, that's it. We're done. Bye.